Hi, good day. I'm Sandeep, and you're watching The Weekender at 5. Today is Thursday, 10th of March, and it's almost around 5 o'clock here in New Zealand. And it is a very important day for the people who are interested in politics back in India. Today, five states' election results are going to come out. And as we speak, counting has begun. The counting was supposed to begin at 8 o'clock morning Indian Standard Time, and it will be beginning by counting of postal votes. And in 15 minutes time, say around 8:30 Indian time, the counting will begin from votes from electronic voting machines, EVM machines. So yes, we are talking about the much awaited results of five states of legislative elections: Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Goa, Manipur. So these are the prominent states, and as we all know that, and Uttarakhand as well. So as we all know that elections in India generate a lot of emotions, uh, not only in India but also in all diaspora communities living all around the world, including here in New Zealand. So the two most important states whose elections are very widely anticipated are Punjab and Uttar Pradesh for different reasons. Uttar Pradesh, we all know, is the biggest state back in India, and it sent the biggest number of MPs to New Delhi, which decides the formation of central government back in India. So it is always the most important states. Currently it sends around 80 MPs, member of parliament, and that is why the future of Uttar Pradesh, or the state government in Uttar Pradesh, is always the most important and most eagerly anticipated elections. And talking about Punjab, Punjab only sends around 13 MPs to New Delhi Central Parliament, but it is a phenomenally emotionally charged political battlefield. And we all know, and we have got a huge number of Punjabi diaspora living all around the world, including here in New Zealand, who very engagingly follow the outcomes. So we are going to discuss today more about Punjab elections, and to discuss more on this, we have got two special guests from here in New Zealand. They are revered community leaders, and they are quite eagerly engaged with the political processes back in India. So I would like to invite them, and then we will begin our discussion, and we will discuss the upcoming results that we are going to see. So first, I would like to invite Khadak Singh. Khadak Singh ji is Auckland-based local leader in the Kiwi Indian community, and he has got some expert opinions, expert connections, and expert knowledge about the local politics in Punjab. And along with Khadak Singh ji, we have got Mr. Rajiv Bajwa, who's based in Bay of Plenty, and he is a media commentator. He has been involved with few political processes back in Punjab, and he also holds a lot of good insight about the ongoing process. So I would like to invite Rajiv Bajwa, and I would like to invite Mr. Khadak Singh ji on our show. So welcome to our show, Rajiv.
Thank you very much, Sandeep. My regards to your spectators and Khadak Singh ji.
Sure. So welcome to our show, Khadak Singh ji.
Sandeep ji, somehow my sound, I can't hear you guys.
Yes, no, you are live on our show.
Can't understand what you're saying. There's sound is not clear.
Okay, we will try to reconnect and see if we can get this technology right. And till that time, we will continue our conversation with Mr. Rajiv. So, राजीव जी, जिससे पहले कि मैं आपसे सबसे पहला सवाल पूछूं, मैं अपने दर्शकों को बताना चाहूंगा एक एग्जिट पोल के बारे में, जो कि मुझे लगता नहीं कि एक न्यूज़ है। सबको मालूम है कि जिस तरीके से एग्जिट पोल खासकर से पंजाब के बारे में बताया गया है कि एक नया इतिहास रचने वाला है। जो आम आदमी पार्टी है, आप के नाम से जो जानी जाती है, वो एक नया इतिहास रचने जा रही है। शायद वो पंजाब में एक फुल मेजॉरिटी सरकार बनाएगी, ऐसा एग्जिट पोल्स कह रहे हैं। बट अगेन, एज वी नो दैट नॉट all exit polls are always right. So I would like to ask you the first question, Rajiv. What is your opinion about the exit poll about Punjab elections?
Thank you, Sandeep. Regarding exit poll, I would say rather you know more how we take samples on these exit polls. Usually, it depends upon the sample size as well as a lot of nitty and gritty, and which may not be always correct. So, although being my heart towards Aam Aadmi Party, slightly leaning towards Aam Aadmi Party, I do want Aam Aadmi Party should win. However, having said that, I do not personally feel that exit polls are going to be correct in this election. Especially, there's a lot has happened in the last 3 days, and those 3 days has not been taken into account. And during these samples, when people were taking samples and taking the opinions from the exiting voters, voting number of percentage is also very much important, and percentage of vote share, which way it shifts due to the last three waves, it depends a lot. So, but personally, I don't think it's going to be the case. It's going to be a lot different, surprising results, in my opinion.
Okay, well, that's quite well said, I would say. And just giving a little bit more context to our audiences, especially those who are not following Punjab elections so diligently and so religiously. Punjab elections, as we know, that Congress party has been in the power for last 5 odd years. Captain Amrinder Singh was the chief minister for 4.5 years. Until he decided to resign from the party in September 2021. Since then, the field has been open in Congress party. We have seen a lot of dramas within the Congress party. Navjot Singh Sidhu coming in, going out, and then Mr. Channi being sworn in as the chief minister of the state for the Congress party. And Mr. Amrinder Singh has gone and he has formed a new political party with the tactical alliance of BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, which is supporting him. And apart from Congress, the main other political players are Shiromani Akali Dal. They have been on and off in the power right from 1970s, and they are a dominant political force. They used to be in alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party for around more than 2 decades. That alliance has been broken on this occasion. So BJP has gone its own way, and SAD's Shiromani Akali Dal has been. So they both have fought this election separately. And apart from that, the third most important political player is Aam Aadmi Party, AAP, which most of us will know that party emanated and is a dominant force in the local Delhi. And they have been trying hard to expand their political footprint outside Delhi in many other states, but yet they have not been very successful. But I think for the first time ever, any exit poll is giving them the most plausible chances to form a government, and that too a government in full majority. So when we are talking about majority, Punjab Legislative Assembly has got 117 seats, and this exit poll is saying that Aam Aadmi Party may be able to win 59 odd seats and fall a full-fledged government, which will be a history if created. But as Rajiv has rightly commented and cautiously commented, that despite his personal leanings and interest that AAP may win, but he has questioned the authenticity and the strength of the samples which collect for exit polls. So I think we are being slightly luckier, and we are being connected again with Mr. Kharak Singh ji. Let me go back and see if we can be more lucky and have the conversation with him. Kharak Singh ji, आप हमें सुन पा रहे हैं?
हाँ जी, आप सुन पा रहे हैं. Thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you so much. Sorry,
Okay.
something went wrong somewhere.
Yeah, I think we still haven't got the technology right. Your voice is cracking up. We will try our luck and we will see. So सबसे पहले मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगा खड़क सिंह जी, जो एग्जिट पोल में जो खबरें आ रही हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी एक तरफा सरकार बनाएगी, मेजॉरिटी में सरकार बनाएगी, आप उस एग्जिट पोल से सहमत हैं या डिसएग्री करते हैं, या आपका क्या व्यू है उसके ऊपर?
मैं वो जो ओपिनियन पोल या जो
Yes, I think unfortunately we are still not being able to connect. We will see if my production team will try to get hold of him again. But Rajiv, to you, जैसा कि हमारे पास अब खबरें आने लगी हैं, मुझे मालूम है सभी दर्शकों के पास खबर आने लगी होगी कि जो लीड्स आना शुरू हो चुकी हैं, चुनाव गणना शुरू हो चुकी है। आम आदमी पार्टी अभी सबसे ज्यादा लीड कर रही है 22 सीट्स पर। कांग्रेस इज फॉलोइंग बिहाइंड अराउंड 11 सीट्स and Akali is leading at 6 and BJP is leading at 2. So अभी बहुत कुछ तो आपका इस बारे में क्या कहना है राजीव? Is it something according to the recipe, according to the plan?
मेरा पर्सनल मानना ये है, बाकी रिजल्ट्स अभी 3 घंटे में काफ़ी क्लियर हो जाएंगे संदीप। जो टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन राइटली दैट हाउ इट्स गोना अनफोल्ड, हैविंग सेड दैट एग्जिट पोल सेइंग from 59 to 65 seats to AAP, in order to having this realistically looked at, we must divide Punjab into 3 sections: Malwa, Majha and Doaba. So Malwa has got 69 assembly seats.
जी
And that means this is a major area where Bhagwant Mann has a very strong hold and Aam Aadmi Party has a very strong hold.
जी
So that means out of 69, Malwa must gain above 45 or around 50 seats, because in Doaba, very marginal upper hand, on very few seats AAP has. So
right
in Doaba, mainly AAP is not going to do that well as compared to Malwa. Same with
right
Majha. And
yes
Doaba, we have 23 seats, and Majha, we have 25 seats. So that
right
means if we go with the exit polls, that means the results should reflect right around clean sweep in Malwa,
Malwa
100% or maybe 90%, which is very unlikely. So
okay
I feel, let's hope in 3 hours it will be more clearer picture on your screens which way we are going.
Okay, okay, no, that's quite well said and quite well explained. Thank you very much for that, Rajiv. Now, coming back and asking a little bit more about that, जैसा आपने बोला कि मालवा में आपका काफी अच्छा एक पकड़ है, काफी अच्छी वहां पर कनेक्टिविटी है. So I want to take a step back and I want to ask you, if I have to ask you that, according to you, what were the 3 or 4 main electoral issue in this election for Punjab? कौन से वो मुद्दे रहे हैं जिसके बेसिस पे आपको लगता है कि पंजाब के वोटर्स ने वोट डाला है?
देखिए संदीप, पहले तो शुरू हुआ था मुद्दा जो कांग्रेस ने उठाया था, नवजोत सिद्धू ने, कि पंजाब को इग्नोर किया जा रहा है। बहुत देर से इनकी आपस में ये चलती रही जब कैप्टन अमरिंदर सिंह जी को हटाया गया। इस बेसिस पे भी पंजाब के मुद्दे गायब हैं। पंजाब के मुद्दे होने चाहिए, पानी का मुद्दा है और करप्शन का मुद्दा है और बहुत सारे ऐसे मुद्दे हैं। बेअदबी का मुद्दा है, जो श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी की बेअदबी हुई थी। लेकिन हम सभी ने देखा कि इलेक्शन आते आते ये नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू वर्सेस मजीठिया वर्सेस चन्नी, इनके पर्सनल मुद्दे सामने आ गए और जो पंजाब के मुद्दे थे वो गायब हो गए, जो कि पंजाब की जनता ने बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं किया। सो उसका जो थोड़ा बेनिफिट और फायदा है वो आम आदमी पार्टी को जरूर हुआ, कि जिसमें लोगों को लगा कि अरविंद केजरीवाल कंसिस्टेंटली जो है एक ऑनेस्ट बात करते आ रहे हैं, करप्शन खत्म करने की, ऑनेस्ट सरकार देने की, तो उनका झुकाव आम आदमी पार्टी की तरफ काफी ज्यादा हुआ इनकी आपसी लड़ाई की वजह से। लेकिन जो आपका करेक्ट आंसर बनता है कि जब तक वोटिंग डे आया तब तक सभी मुद्दे गायब हो गए। अरविंद केजरीवाल का भी बयान आ गया कि हिंदू खतरे में है। सो इट बिकेम सडनली अ कम्युनल इशू कि हिंदू सिख वर्सेस दलित वोट, ये बन गया। सो विच इज वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट।
Surely it is very unfortunate if we look at from, especially looking at from overseas, from being a diaspora community, it does come across. But the thing is, you cannot ignore it. That's the dominant reality. That's what it is. And our job as media commentator is to basically delve into what reality is, rather than to opine what it should be. So coming back and again having a look from a perspective of diaspora communities, from seeing it from here in New Zealand, especially for those who are not emotionally connected to this election process in Punjab. A lot of people, they thought that probably the farmers issue that started in 2020 September and that has dominated not only in the national imagination but also the rest of the world's coverage. We all know that पूरे एक साल से ज़्यादा लंबे समय तक फार्मर्स आंदोलन चला और बाद में केंद्र सरकार को जो 3 फार्म लॉ उन्होंने पास किए थे उसको वापस भी लेना पड़ा। तो बहुत सारे लोग जो बाहर रहते हैं, विदेशों में रह रहे हैं, यहाँ न्यूजीलैंड में रह रहे हैं और पंजाब से नहीं है, दूसरी जगह से हैं, दे आर ट्राइंग टू सी द होल पंजाब इलेक्शन इशू फ्रॉम द लेंस ऑफ farmers farm laws and the contest between the central ruling BJP and the remaining Punjab things. तो अगर मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूँ कि फार्म लॉ इशू ने, ये फार्मर्स किसान आंदोलन इशू ने क्या इस इलेक्शन को प्रभावित किया? Did it influence it by any means? Was it a major issue at all? Or do you think it was lost and diluted among other issues?
वेरी प्रिसाइज आंसर इसका नहीं दे पाऊंगा, मुझे थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड में जाना पड़ेगा. व्हेन इट वाज हैपनिंग, द farmers protest was happening, there was a lot of support for farmers, Sandeep, and that helped to build up the movement because election was just around the corner, and a lot of young people came into that protest, and they got enlightened about the importance of elections and their voting right and how it can make an impact in coming elections. However, having said that, when farmers decided to come into election to fight an election, then they were seen to be divided within their own groups, which actually damaged their reputation. And same thing was seen that parties who were supporting the farmers protest, they started condemning the farmers themselves. Now this has made a big dent on farmers reputation, which was also discussed when Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, when he announced in decision in favor of farmers, this was not received very gracefully, which should have been received very gracefully. So Hindu vote was annoyed from farmers big time in Punjab, and they are 36.4%, which is a huge chunk of Punjab voters. So having said that, these factors did impact, and farmers lost the plot completely, and you will see in the results they will not be found anywhere, Sandeep.
Definitely, yes. No, quite well said. And I was going to point towards the latest update that we are getting, that I don't think like AAP as expected is leading at 22 seats and Congress is somewhere around 11 seats. Akali is around 6 seats, and then BJP is around leading around 4 seats, which is slightly up than what it is expected. But definitely, जैसा आप बता रहे हैं राजीव, जो farmers का जो संयुक्त मोर्चा है, I don't think they are leading at any one seat, and which is surprising. And that is the news for a lot of people of within our Kiwi Indian community here in New Zealand, especially those who are not from Punjab, because they have been trying to understand Punjab election process through the lens of Farmers Union that has dominated the national imagination and the global imagination. So I think quite well said, quite well read, Rajiv. Now I think हमारा खड़क सिंह जी से connection हो पाया है. खड़क सिंह जी, welcome back again. We do understand we are living in a digital age where technology can fail sometime, but I'm glad that we are able to get hold of you again. So सबसे पहले मैं आपसे दोबारा पहला क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा कि आप का क्या कहना है एग्जिट पोल्स के बारे में. अब तो पहले रुझान आना शुरू हो गए हैं जिसमें आम आदमी पार्टी आगे चल रही है, लेकिन आपका क्या कहना है कि what do you think कि exit polls are going to be right on this occasion?
I have my doubts on it, but obviously exit polls I do not trust, because sometimes they are not the accurate situation what's happening in Punjab. Punjab बहुत different state है, और मेरा हिसाब है it will be kind of very close to fighting each other, and no one will have the majority, which I believe. But then exit poll के हिसाब से I don't believe they are the true ones.
राइट, ओके. नाउ खड़क सिंह जी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँ जो हम राजीव से पहले पूछ चुके हैं कि आपके हिसाब से अगर मैं पूछूं कि 3 या 4 मुख्य चुनावी मुद्दे क्या रहे हैं, व्हाट वर द मेन इश्यूज दैट यू थिंक वुड हैव forced or convinced the voters in Punjab state to put their vote?
सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा तो यही रहता है जी, वो पंजाब के लिए, लोगों के लिए कोई भी सरकार काम ही नहीं करती पिछले 12-15 साल में। जो पावर में आ जाता है, दे आर बेसिकली पावर हंग्री एंड लोगों के हित में कोई काम नहीं करता है और वो अपनी जेबें भरते हैं बेसिकली। लेकिन इस बार क्या हुआ, लास्ट 111 दिन की सरकार में चन्नी सरकार ने आके उनको थोड़ा सा चेंज किया, एज यू प्रोबब्ली सीन द डिफरेंस, but I believe it is too late. 111 days are not enough to prove that we can run a successful governments. But obviously, अब वो जाएं तो जाएं कहाँ? ना तो कांग्रेस काम करती, ना अकाली दल करता, तो ना बीजेपी करने देती है और ना कोई और करने देता, तो वो जाए तो जाए कहाँ? मेरे हिसाब से वो कहते हैं कि जब, as you probably remember, a few years back, we were the ones who started in New Zealand passionately. Me and Rajiv were for Aam Aadmi Party, and Bhagwant Mann came here, and we invited him, we sponsored him, and we were the same feelings for our hearts are, we are Punjabis living outside, but our heart goes back to Punjab as well.
Surely, definitely. I think you have touched a very important thing that I was going to ask you, probably both, but I will start with Rajiv first. That कि हमारे यहाँ की जो डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटी है, पंजाबी डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटी है जो कि इलेक्शन से जुड़ी हुई है, तो आपको यहाँ पर ग्राउंड में लोगों के साथ, हमारे गुरुद्वारों में या दूसरी जगह पे जहाँ भी लोग इकट्ठा हो रहे हैं, तो आपको क्या सुनने में आ रहा था कि किस पार्टी की हवा है? राजीव।
डेफिनेटली आम आदमी पार्टी की स्ट्रॉन्ग वेव इस बार लग रही है और लग रही थी सब लोगों को, एंड होप्स आर वेरी हाई। क्या है संदीप की जो दिल है ना, वो दिल चाहता है कि चेंज आनी चाहिए, क्योंकि हमेशा कभी अकालीज आ जाते हैं, कभी कांग्रेस आ जाती है, तो कहीं ना कहीं सॉफ्ट कॉर्नर है सबका जो इस सिस्टम में, अच्छे सिस्टम में रह रहे हैं। वो चाहते हैं कि पंजाब में भी सिस्टम की जो उम्मीद है बदलने की, वो आम आदमी पार्टी में ही नजर आती है, क्योंकि उसके ऊपर जो पकड़ है वो अरविंद केजरीवाल की है। मेरा मानना ये किसी और से डिफर हो सकता है, लेकिन जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है, जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव बैकग्राउंड से आए हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल, उनका एक ऑनेस्ट छवि वाला चेहरा है जिसके ऊपर पंजाब की जनता ने भरोसा किया है।
बिल्कुल, नहीं, मैं आपकी बात से सहमत हूँ कि केजरीवाल को एक पॉलिटिकल आउटसाइडर का जो एक बेनिफिट मिलता है, जिसकी वजह से वो दिल्ली में उन्होंने सरकार बनाई, दिल्ली मतलब दिल्ली की राज्य की सरकार बनाई, और शायद उसी क्रेडिबिलिटी को वो दूसरे स्टेट में भी ले जाना चाह रहे हैं। And that's quite well said about that. So, Khadak Singh ji, would you agree with this? Like, do you think that the main हमारी डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटी में, न्यूजीलैंड में एक हवा थी पंजाबी कम्युनिटी में आप पार्टी की तरफ?
जी बिल्कुल, और काफी सालों से चल रही है। आपने देखा 2012 में हमने शुरू किया, 15 में, 17 में, 19 में। सो व्हेन यू रियली लुक एट दैट, पीपल वर देयर, राइट? पर लेकिन कुछ हर्ट भी हुए, ये भी हमें मानना पड़ेगा। इस चक्कर में आम आदमी की सपोर्ट करते करते तो हम काफी उनके वॉलंटियर्स हर्ट भी हुए। तो बट एंड ऑफ द डे something has to change, and the change people see it in now is Aam Aadmi Party, and
Okay.
I hope and today's results will put a smile on their face, or go back to the square one.
Sure. Now the next question is, and which is related again to the last question, that how important is this, that the sympathy and the support within our diaspora communities here in New Zealand, do you think it does influence, or it has the capability to influence voters back in Punjab? जो मैं क्वेश्चन जानना चाह रहा हूं कि हमारे यहाँ पर जो लोग मान लीजिए आप आदमी की तरफ sympathy रखते हैं, do you think they are able to influence some vote back in Punjab through their families or extended neighborhood or extended families? Rajiv.
I've got a mixed feeling for this. I would say yes and no. If you see the comparison with the last election, Sandeep, there was a lot of support from NRIs. And when we went to Punjab, a lot of people were surprisingly asking us why you are here. So why you're concerned about Punjab? Go back to your countries where you live. So that was quite hurting. And now there is hardly any NRI's participation in this election, but there is still a lot of wave. And as I've said, during Kisan movement, the biggest impact was that youth enlightened that why their vote is very important. And that vote of that youth was totally shifted towards AAP because of their own fight within the Kisan groups and their own fight within the Congress. And this whole benefit was taken by Aam Aadmi Party very nicely. And Bhagwant Mann is a key factor in Malwa, but in other regions like Maja and Doaba, Arvind Kejriwal is the face.
ओके ओके खड़क सिंह जी, आप इस व्यू से सहमत हैं? आपको लगता है कि जो हमारी डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटी में जो हवा चलती है, is it in a position to influence some voters back in Punjab?
Not anymore. I don't believe, not anymore. Like Rajiv ji said, used to. There was last election में आपको याद होगा, हवाई जहाज भर भर के न्यू दिल्ली में NRIs पहुंचे थे और कैंपेन करने गए थे, और उनमें से मैं भी एक था जिसने 2 महीने जाके वहां कैंपेन किया आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए. लेकिन उसके बाद we went back to, because we went anti our family members who are politicians back home. हम अपने खुद अपने रिश्तेदार अपने फैमिली में जो कि सरकार में है उनके उलट जाके हमने काम किया. लेकिन उसके बाद क्या कहते हैं, जब पार्टी इंटैक्ट नहीं रहती, अपने वॉलंटियर्स को लुक आफ्टर नहीं करती, उनके जो कहते हैं वेल विशर्स है उनको ट्रस्ट नहीं करती, देन ऑब्वियसली देयर इज नो पॉइंट. और मुझे याद है बब्बू मान जब आए थे लास्ट टाइम यहाँ, तो उन्होंने मुझे बोला था, व्हाई आर यू वांट टू चेंज पंजाब व्हेन पीपल ऑफ पंजाब डोंट वांट टू चेंज. सो that got to me.
Okay, no, I get that. Now, that is why I think you both have a very similar view on that. Now, that prompts me to put up the next question. Is it fair to say that most of the NRIs and our Punjabi diaspora community, they became a little bit disengaged or a little bit disconnected? If that's the case, then why was that? मतलब अगर आप लोग इस बार वहां नहीं गए, तो क्या आपका भी मन उठ गया पंजाब की पॉलिटिक्स से, या आपको लगा कि चेंज नहीं लाया जा सकता है? एंड इज इट अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज if we are thinking from perspective of AAP party back in पंजाब, कि क्या जो NRIs हैं इन्वॉल्व नहीं हुए पंजाब के इलेक्शन में, इसकी वजह से वहां का लोकल वोटर है वो ज्यादा अच्छे से आप आम आदमी पार्टी से जुड़ पाया? राजीव, आपका क्या इसके बारे में व्यू है?
मेरा इस पे ये मानना है कि आई कैन स्पीक फॉर माई सेल्फ. व्हाट आई हैव लर्नड इन सिंस लास्ट इलेक्शन दैट वी हैव पुट इन अ लॉट ऑफ एनर्जी और टाइम. From my point of view, time is the most valuable thing one can give to somebody. And we gave time and money as well. And there was a lot of emotions backed up. But we were betrayed by the power-hungry people within Aam Aadmi Party. So that actually put us off. And I decided that from now onwards, I've drawn the line. I will not give my time to any party, any political party. So that was me. But everybody is different. There are still few people who are still devoting time. But Kharak Singh Aji is also right. Yeah, that he drew a line and he backed off as well.
Surely. Thank you very much. I think we are running short of time. Elections results are coming left, right, center. बड़ी जल्दी हमारी. खड़क सिंह जी, आपका क्या कहना है इस बारे में कि आपका भी जो मन भर गया पंजाब की पॉलिटिक्स से या आम आदमी पार्टी से ऑन द ग्राउंड?
मेरा ये मानना था, मैंने उनका टैलेंट खुद जाके देखा, एंड आई बिलीव अपार्ट फ्रॉम ओनली फ्यू पीपल, आई डोंट वैल्यू other people. They are only power hungry, and they just looking for opportunity to take the seat, and rest you have seen from 20 they are 10 gone. Now they will get another chance by the way it's looking. Let's hope they hang in there and don't run away like last time.
Right. Okay. Now one final question. Like आपके सामने अब रिजल्ट्स आने शुरू हो गए हैं, तो अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं राजीव, how hopeful you are now that AAP will form a majority?
See, I can see on my screen that AAP is leading on 43 seats and Indian National Congress is leading on 7 seats. Akali Dal 5 and BJP 2. If this trend continue for next 2 hours, then AAP will form government with comfortably, I think.
Okay, okay. Would you agree with this, Khadak Singh ji?
मेरे हिसाब से ऐसे लगता है जी, आई थिंक दैट will Congress will come back. It's early time in elections counting, and I will just sit and wait for another few hours. And my take is that there will be difficulty to forming by any one of them.
Okay, if I have to ask you, Khadak Singh ji, कांग्रेस को आप कितनी सीट देंगे?
I will give them 50.
50 out of 117. And
जी,
आम आदमी पार्टी को कितनी सीट आपके कैलकुलेशंस में?
40-45.
40-45. So we are heading towards a hung parliament.
Yeah, then I will give Kalidal and BJP the rest and the share, and hopefully somebody, whoever has the money power or the power within the circles.
We won't go there. We won't go there. Now coming back to Rajiv, how many seats would you give to AAP?
I would give anywhere from 40 to 47 seats to Aam Aadmi Party. And
Right.
I personally believe it can touch 50 figure.
Okay, okay,
And I will give Congress around 30 seats.
okay.
And I expect that Shrimoni Akali Dal and BJP will do good. Better than last election.
Okay. Now, one last question before I let you go and call this off, this show off. अगर पोस्ट इलेक्शंस में कुछ अलायंस बनना पड़ता है तो आपके हिसाब से कौन सी पार्टी किसके साथ अलायंस बनाएगी? राजीव?
I think if Aam Aadmi Party has an upper hand to form a government with alliance, then Aam Aadmi Party will play the same card which they played in Delhi before that. We will not get support from anyone. किसी को देना है तो दे दो, किसी को हमें support देना है तो दे दो. And chances are they can get support from Akalis.
Okay, okay. खड़क सिंह जी, आपका क्या टेक है इस क्वेश्चन पे?
I think my take is that Congress will have the power to bring the people back into their fold to form a government.
All right. Okay. No, that's a great assessment, I would say, and probably we will leave it here only, and we will let the election results unfold in next few hours, and we will see how accurate we have got it right over here in Auckland, in New Zealand. So thank you very much, gentlemen. I really appreciate you sharing your time, sharing your insight, your deep knowledge and passion about elections in Punjab. We will continue to have this conversation sometime in near future, and we will see if the expectations that has been put on the politicians back in Punjab and the political parties in Punjab has been fulfilled or not, and what is in store for our Punjabis voters, and more importantly, for our diaspora communities here in New Zealand. So thank you very much for joining today. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Sandeep, and thanks
Thank you,
to
Sandeep.
everyone. Best wishes for Punjab.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is Sandeep, along with our production team, on our special election bulletin, election news about Punjab elections. We will continue to keep an eye on that and bring you more in our other coverage. Thank you.